So now, whenever I can deliver a presentation, I'll try to do more equations. So that's kind of my advantage. So I apologize for it. Anyway, so let's move to the third part with data and the app. So we are getting from the brain to the body and the food for the functionality of a human being. And for data, it's so part three. First, we will talk about data, data types, the selection of data, the manipulation of data, and then we'll go to app. So we will have a tour for the app. So the data is significant because, as mentioned, it's food. And also, only after we know, what data we have, what data we use, so we can know that, based on which we make these decisions, we get a better idea of the app and the models. So first, types of data. We have four major types. One is weather data. So this one can be obtained from any weather websites. But usually, if you just get it for one site, one request, doing it manually, it's free. But as long as if you want to pull in a lot of data, make a lot of requests, usually you need to pay money. And we also have free sources that we can make a lot of requests, such as NOAA. But the problem with the free thing is that usually they're not perfect. So there's a lot of missing data that give a lot of trouble. So at the beginning, we paid one thing called API-XU, $30 per month, and we got some data from it. But we try to utilize these $30 best. So we develop some coding on our end. We make a lot of requests, include data, and store on our own server. That's allowed. And in that way, we save a lot of money. So we put in enough data from Michigan, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. So we have our own database. And then if you want to get some data again, we can just go to our own database and put the data out. And for the weather forecast, actually, we could get free data. And for some websites such as Accurate Weather, we could get like 1 month forecast. But we know that weather forecasts are not accurate. If you go 1 month, that may not make sense at all. So we do a 7-day forecast for FD, TD, and SNR. The second type is the MDOT RWIS data program. As mentioned, we have a lot of RWIS stations, and also MDOT has tracker for collecting and for managing the data. So we don't do that. We just we use something called API, which was developed by the MDOT RWIS contractor. So they get all the data initially, and then they create an interface so that we can easily get data from them. And we got the RWIS data starting from 2017. Actually, there's some historical RWIS data before 2017. We got those from Brandon Moyer. The problem is that those historical data, most of them are not usable for unknown reason. So we cannot solve the problem. And we also have frost tube data. This is a new thing. So it's last year, right? So some people saw the app and said, "Oh, that's cool. We want to add in some frost tube measurements into it." So that data can be seen here in real time. So we did that and we made it happen December and January. So now we have a new function in Service 5 for this purpose. And also we're pulling the soil data from Web Soil Survey. As mentioned, at the beginning, we were kind of ambitious. We tried to utilize all the data. Then we found that that's too complex, not doable. We gotta get something, in time frame, for decent predictions. So we narrowed the scope a little bit. And then this one, we still have data in our database. Maybe in the future we will do some active work and try to improve predictions using soil data, but that's not for the current stage. And also, we also believe that it's not necessary for state highways, because for state highways, usually we replace the soil and dig to like a depth like 6 feet. So the soil that we put in there, base materials or even part of the subgrade material, they are good materials. So they are not original materials that we got from the GIS. Actually, we got it from the USDA tool web soil survey. So this one may not be accurate. So that's another reason that we did not use it. And we made a few changes in 2019. First, we don't want to pay this $30 every month anymore. So we got data from Iteris. So MDOT can get free data from it. And for Argus data, the Argus two-factor changed last year from VESLA to GFM. And actually, because of that, that change caused a lot of issues. It happened before when we moved from one contractor to another contractor. The format is different. And even now, I took a look at the mail list yesterday. It seems that there's a gap when we move from one to the other. A lot of data that are missing for some reason. But I assume they're still working on it. And we also use something called database. So database is the helper, is the software package that we use to manage all the data. So as long as we say that we want that, then we will put data first, for manager. You don't need to worry about storage and the query of the data. So at the beginning, we use something called MongoDB. It's good for small scale project and also good for dealing with different types of data. But then after we tried it for a while, we found that in our case, most of the data are just text. We don't deal with images. We don't deal with audios. So this one is not we cannot take advantage of the strength of this tool, and it causes some problems because it's good for small scale projects. For our projects, we have more data. So we moved to another one, PostgreSQL, last year. And that's how it works. So we have a weather forecast from the Iteris, and we have we have a 7-day forecast, and we have the Argus data from Argus stations. Actually, the data is being collected every 5 minutes, but we don't need to do that. That's what generates a lot of data. So what we do is that since we do a daily prediction, so we just putting the data once or twice a day. And for GIS data, we put all of them in at one time. And for the frost tube data, this one happens that because for frost tube data, people don't check frost tubes every day, possibly every few weeks or even every couple of months. So what we do is that we make a request every day to see if there's any updates. So as long as we see that there's a new data point, we put it in and show the data. So you will be refreshed every day. And we put all the data in a server. Actually, it's a big computer like this big. Some of you probably saw my office before. I saw a huge computer at the corner in my office. Whenever people say, what is that? So that's a heater. It actually increased my room temperature about 5 to 10 degrees. So it's funny. Anyways, big 64 cores, pretty powerful. So we use it to host the app. So we put in all data stored here, and then we do all the real-time computing here. And as I mentioned, we have a lot of data. So now the question is, what type of data should we use? Should we use all of them? Not easy. You can see that we make a big progress when we move from 2D to 3D. That means we use one type of data, now we use two types of data. So then here you can see that there are many types, there are too many of them. And if you want to use something like it to create a model, that will be really challenging and it's not practical. So, but we still want to analyze the correlation between different data types. So actually the y-axis and the x-axis, they are exactly the same. They show the different types of data that we got from our stations. So you have the first one here, total precipitation here, and the second one, air temperature, Celsius, and here we have total precipitation and air temperature Celsius. So you can see that if we see the cell corresponding to total precipitation and also total precipitation, that means we are trying to look at the correlation between the same thing. And of course, the correlation should be 100%, because they're the same thing. I change, you change. And but between different things, the number is not 1. But some of them positive, that means if I increase, you will increase. That is positive. If I increase, you will decrease. Then it means that's negative. but the usually a higher, the higher absolute value of this coefficient, correlation coefficient, means that a higher level of correlation. And here we are especially interested in the FD and the TD, so they are here. Freezing depth and confinement. We want to see the correlation between the other types of data in this FD and TD because we do SLR based on FD and TD predictions. So we take a look at air temperature. That's because that's used in the FHWA model. You see that it's minus 0.64. Actually, this is just for one side. You move to a different side, the values will be changed a little bit. So you see, that's pretty good. It's pretty high compared to the other values. And then we take a look at, for example, rain intensity. That's what is considered by South Dakota DOT. So we take a look. Is it that it's for FE is 0.06, and for TD is 0.04. I cannot say that what South Dakota DOT does is not correct, but at least you see that possibly correlation is not that high. At least for this site. And we also take a look at surface temperature. We find that this one seems that the best in all the cases that we look into. That's why we want to jump from air temperature to surface temperature when we are calculating the freezing and thawing index. So that's how we choose, why we want to go with this one. And then for data manipulation, so one key thing is that, as I mentioned, there's a third party our data because we have been collecting data, at least as far as I know, since sometime in 2012, so a long time ago. And those sensors, many of them, they're buried in the ground, so they have their own service life. We don't know what's happening. Some of them will malfunction, or sometimes then you will get it back again. So we saw many things like that. So it's hard to guarantee that we can get very good data. And here we call valid and invalid from perspective model development for the prediction of FD and TD. So for some sites, we found that the data is pretty clean and good for developing the FD and TD prediction models. So we call that a valid site. And actually, we did all the sites. I think there's somewhere between 1/3 and 1/2 of these sites, and we can get good data for the developing the FD and TD prediction models. And for the other ones, we just call them invalid. But the thing is that for some of them, as the contractors, they're continuously working on this, so they will constantly make improvements and get some of them back from invalid to valid. So we don't know what's going to happen in the future. But let's assume that we have here in this case we have 3 valid ROIs, we have 3 invalid ones, and this is the location. This could be any location in Michigan. But usually we do it in our case, we don't want to make it too complicated. We don't want to say that you go to field, get the longitude or latitude. So we do prediction, but we don't do that. We do it in a way that you can tell me zip code. If you know the zip code, give us a zip code. If you don't know that, you know the county name, give the county. There's a list of county, and then you click it. We will take a look at the county or the zip code. We will try to find the right center of it, and then use that longitude and latitude of that center and do this calculation. So for the location, we calculate the distances from this point of interest to the, for example, 3 neighboring of these sites, and then we do the interpolation based on the distances, and we can get the value here. So basically, we get a model for these stations, and we do the predictions here, and then we get the value based the value here based on interpolation. And another strategy that we could use is that we could just take a look, it's simpler. We need to just take a look, which one is the nearest one, and just use the value from that one. And as I mentioned, data are missing and more than half of the ROIS stations, and we have even fewer sites for developing the MW19 models. So the situation possibly will be improved in the future. And then let's take a look at the app. So if you have a cell phone for desktop internet access, you can go to any browser. Here, I'll do it again. So it is m.slr.org. So this is kind of the home page, and here on the top you can see that this is the logo of the app, logo of the job, logo of Michigan Bank, and below it we have disclaimer, so you can click on this to read more about it. And then below it you can see there are 5 kind of buttons. So we use responsive design. That means if you use not use the desktop, you use a different type of electronic device, such as a smartphone. The website will appear in different ways. But for most of them, we tested different devices. We want to make sure that for most of them, most of the things they are legible. So there are 5 buttons here. They correspond to 5 services. The first one is for show the temperature for a certain amount of time, and also temperature forecast. The FI and TI over the same time, and also FI and TI forecast. And also we can see the SLR predictions. Whenever SLR on or off conditions are met, so we can show 2 dots to mark the start and end of the SLR. That's the first service. For the second service, we can check the variation of the FD and TD over any period. And the third one, so the first one is about status and forecast. The second one is about history. The third one is about it's not along the time axis anymore. It's not a temporal variation. Now we're talking about the spatial variation. So we talk about the distribution of things over the whole state. But of course, we can select to show a contour at any day. And the fourth one is for the pavement design. So we can see the spatial distribution of maximum freezing depth contour over any given period. So it's, as long as we have data, for example, it could be the maximum freezing temperature depth FD in this year, or over 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. So the original goal is that we will keep doing this, for example, for 100 years. Then possibly our grandsons will come back and take a look at the app and say, wow, cool, that's 100 history. You can see all the free cycles there. But currently, we, depending on which model we use FHWA, we can go back to 2012. For measurements, we can go back to 2017. That's the time we can get good obvious data. And the last one is the place that we show people the data, what's the raw data looks like. Actually, for all the surveys, as long as you can plot it, we also create a function that you can download it. You can plot a curve. You say that's an interesting curve. I want to see what's the data for plotting the curve. There's a button below it. You click it, you can get it. And there's one quick access button on the right. So that quick access. So this 5 of them, they only show on the home page. When you click one of them, we'll move to a new service page. But this quick access button will always be here. So if you click it, you will see the same 5 services. So if you click any of them, it will lead us to the same place. So let's get back to the first one. Let's take a look at what the first one looks like. And you can take a look and you can see that we also have this header here and also have the quick access bar here. But we have 2 plots. The one on the top is for either air temperature or pavement temperature, depending on which model we use. And you can see here that we have 2 models. One is FHWA on the left, and the M.2019 is on the right. And if it has a lighter color, that means it's checked. So now the active model is M.2019. You can click it, you see that no change. That means it's already activated. And if you want to change to, so for M.2019, we know that we are interested in the payment temperature. So here we show the variation of payment temperature. And by default, we show 1 year from today. 1 year before today and 7 days after today. So these are the existing data, and here this is the forecast. So there's a light green region, it's the forecast. We have that in both this temperature and here in the FI and TI. And we can switch to FHWA, and you will see that now it's air temperature, not surface temperature anymore. And you can also see the existing data and the forecast. And if you want to change time range, that is doable. For example, if you don't want to jump far from the current location, you can just click here. For example, go to February, January. But a easier way is that you can just type in here. For example, I want to show somewhere from 2017 to today, so I just change this to 2017 start date, and then click Enter. And you see that now we have multiple years. And also you can change the end date, but I'm not recommend do something like that. This initial forecast here. And the results can be checked using both the zip code and county names. But in the app, actually, we got the result of the county based on the zip code, because usually the zip codes they correspond to a small area. Then the county, like the geographic region corresponding to the county. So the zip codes may give you better, more site-specific estimation. And for county, there's a list. So you can select any one. And also, you can switch back and forth between the FHWA and M.2019. And here, this one shows the SLR on and off. So let's say with zip codes, you can also change a little bit. For example, 49931, that's my zip code. Click Enter again so you can refresh the results. And also in here, if you prefer to do it in recess, you can also do it here. So now the degree Fahrenheit has a light color. So check this one. So everything will be in degree Celsius. So let's switch back to degree Fahrenheit. For this one, so let's narrow down a little bit, because for this one we are more interested in the recent and condition and forecast. So let's just go back to 2019. Backward a little bit, let's say 2018. Let's do November. So that is Houghton, and you can see the SR on and off. So here, this is actually last year and this year. So last year, it's acting SR on March 13th and it's off on March 23rd. But this year, a little bit weird. It's on very early. We use this model, the M.2019 model. And it will be off here. So if you cannot see, sometimes the labels will fall out of the region, but you can always go to the corresponding point. So you can see that if you place the cursor on it, you can see the value of the corresponding point, the date. So for example, the last one, if you move here, you can see that the SLR this year should end February 29th. So this is the first surface, and in the first one you can see there's and again, so we show FI and TI, but depending on which model you use, the meaning of Fi and Ti and values will be much different because one uses air temperature, the other one uses surface temperature. And this one, we have one line here. This is actually the freezing point line. So it's 32 degree Fahrenheit. So this is surface one, and if you are on this surface page and you want to jump to another one, so click this quick access button, and you can take a look at the second one, free thaw depth. You can see that the outline is pretty much the same. You can do it by zip code or by counting names. But here so if you check zip code or counting names, actually we are doing predictions. But if you check our base stations, actually this is for freezing and thawing depth. So these are the measurements. That's what we did by taking a look at the distribution of temperatures, data FE. And we have also 1 year from today as the default start and end date. So you can easily change justify the values based on the need. So this is the and you can see that here for any plot as I mentioned, you can see something like download data. This one is trying to give something with data. We can also take a look at first to see that download data. So let's see. Let's use 4931 example. So let's download data. If you click it, so you will get a .csv file. This file you can open it using a text editor or using Excel. So here I use Excel. Click it. You can see the data that we used for plotting this curve. And here you can see the date and the average temperature, the Fi, the Ti, and the SLR. For SLR, we only have this binary, so we only have 0 and 1. 0 that means off, 1 means on. So here you can see that this is 2020. So this is the SR on date. That's November 26th. And the update is here. If you want to get accurate values, you can download the data in a simple way. So then let's take a look at the third one, as mentioned. First one for status, recent status and forecast. Second one, history. Third one is the spatial distribution. So here, so the outline is a little bit different. We have two. We have different options here. For units, we can do it in degree Fahrenheit or in degree Celsius. Model, we have two. One's FHWA, the other one's 2019. This one shows the three things. You can see here. One thing is we call something called degree of SLR completion. That, for example, currently we are within the SLR period. So depending on the distance that we are from, the time that SLR is completed. So we define this degree. So if, for example, if we just start the SLR time, the degree of completion just could be 0. If it's completed, it's 1. And by default, this one is shown. And it seems that SLR is down in downstate, and on the peninsula, it still have some weeks. The thawing process is not finished. And we can also, this is for MDOT 2019, and we can also check FHWA. So it takes a little bit of time to do the calculation. That's from loading and to load all the data. This is the FHWA model. So you see that predictions are different. So here it's almost finished, and here we have more regions where the thawing process is not finished. And we can also take a look at the Fi and Ti. Depending on which method you use, they will be much different. And again, the reason is that one uses air temperature, one uses surface temperature. This FHWA value usually is higher.
non-index, and you switch to M.2019. So freezing index lower and non-index. So again, so we tried, we showed whatever we could get. So if you compare this, with real data, even just compare the result obtained by different models, you will see differences. And for me, it's a little bit hard to explain, the differences. But it would be interesting if all of us look into them and discuss those differences. We may come up with some interesting findings. So we will spend more time later on. So here I just try to go through this tour, this app very quickly. And then for the maximum freezing and thawing depths, take more time to load. And by default, we show the maximum within all the available data. That's all the way back to the beginning of 2013. And this one, by default, we show the metadata. That's the data we obtained from substrate temperature from our waste stations. And we can also use the FHWA model because it covers wide range all the way back to 2013. For M.2019, I would not recommend to use it for this purpose because again, we only used about models from about 1/3 of the ROV stations. So we may miss some stations which have deeper, higher FD predictions. So because of that, for this one, I don't think it's as good as the native one is the most reliable one. We can assume that as long as the sensor gives us correct readings, we assume that it's correct. But for the FHWA model, what we did is that we just calibrate the major data and the FI and the TI areas from some sites, and then use that do extrapolation across all the sites. So can tell us something, but it's not as reliable as this major data. As for service 4, last one is we call it data portal. So for this one, if you click it, at the top you will see a map of Michigan, and you will see a lot of bubbles here. So we have 2 layers. So by default, the RWIS layer is checked. So you can see the locations of all the RWIS stations. And I think I mentioned before, it's interesting that we have no RWIS stations in these regions. And we can also check the frost tube layer, so we can see where the frost tubes are installed. And to reveal what's going to happen is that, so let's uncheck this one to make it look clean. So we can click any station, for example, we click this MI-01 Sydney station. So we click it, and you wait a little bit, so system can fetch data from the database software package and show them in an area here. So it says retrieving data. It's taking a long time than usual, possibly that big server is impacted by coronavirus as well. Okay, let me refresh it to see if it helps. Usually it takes somewhere between like 3 seconds and 5 seconds.
If we all click
not sure if that's the reason. Oops. Right, here we go. So now you can see that. So here, this is the soil data from the GIS. So we show different data we got. So regarding the meaning of data, they're showing here. For example, the clay portion, the sand portion. So this silt portion, that's what they have. And also they have something called water content. So it's pretty handy. So possibly for county roads, you can utilize this data. And if you move down, we will see the weather and harvest data. And depending on, we have a bar here, so you can see that actually there are more of them. So we can move to the right, and you can see that there are more data types. But as I mentioned, currently there are a lot of issues, and a lot of data are missing. And if we move backward, to here, you can see that this is the time that we switch the harvest contractor. You can see that for some reason, many of the data are not available in that process. So they're missing. There's nothing that we can do. So hopefully, this issue can be addressed. And also for this data, we can download them in the same way. So for example, this one, just click it. You will also get a .csv file. Here, the same thing. If you do this one, that file will be pretty big because you can see that it covers, all available data.
Why is there like 2 air temps? Air temp 1, air temp.
One could be from the RV station, the other one could be from the weather station. So that is last service. And for fraud too, you can do the same thing. Check it, check this one, clear. And I checked it, it seems that for many of them there's no data. Some of them, so if there's nothing showing up here, that means there's no data. But for some of them, let me see. Oh, here you can see that there's one payment occurring in January 22nd. So here shows what we got. And also we mark the meaning of different terms here. That's what we got from the manual of the data. So we can use this actually. This year I did not see that too much data, but possibly if we go for another two or three seasons, freeze-out seasons, we will possibly see more of them. They will possibly help us to validate some of our predictions, because they are independent of the RV stations. So we're not talking about the same thing. They're independent. So when we talk about validation, they will also usually validation from an independent data source will be more amazing. So this is the tour to data. So you can try it yourself, try to feel it, how it works. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure why it was slow. When we're trying loading some data for one RV station, usually it's fast. And I think if we just have 10, 20 people trying to make a request at the same time, it shouldn't slow down that much. So I'll take a look. And so let's get back to part 4 for the applications. applications. Actually, what I did is that actually here try to put together some scenarios, some like for applications that you may experience. Actually, also I appreciate the input from Dick and Scott, and also they also shared some information from their perspective. That's very helpful. So we'll take a look at the status and forecast distribution and max freedom depth and FD numbers. So you guys were taking some quizzes this part. It's fun. So the first one for the SLR status and forecast, that's actually just service one. So actually we just went through it. And for that one, we check the status and forecast of any specific location or any route. So let's take a look at location first. For location, we can do it in two ways. You can do it by county or do it by zip code. And here I want to share some handy resources. For county, we can, let me see, we can lead us to both sides. Maybe it's relevant to my computer. My computer is slow today. I'll get out first. So let's do it this way. Let's just copy URL and go to, so this one's for county. So this one can help us easily identify the county issue. Type in mission. Or maybe it's caused by the Wi-Fi speed. So here I use that guest access. Kind of slow. So you guys can try it. It's called randymajors.com. And /p/county-map.html. Oh, it should be, I think the issue should be caused by internet speed. So this one, it's kind of, there have a heavier application here. So whenever you put something, make a request, take a long time to load the data from the server. Here we go. Possibly trying to load an advertisement here. That would take even longer time. So for this one, I think we can zoom in and zoom out. So possibly you guys know the counties very well, but for me, I still have difficulties. A few days ago, I talked to one of my colleagues. He was born and raised in Michigan. Asked him to pronounce the names of the counties. Anyway, so we want to move up a little bit because, for example, this one, if you click it, I know this is the Mackinac County. If you click it, you will see Mackinac County here. So that's the easy way. good thing is that you can, for example, you are not just interested in location, you're interested in like a state highway. You can also take a look. You can see that show here. If you zoom in and zoom out, and you will see more of them. So you can see, what it counts. That's route passes through. So this is one. The other one is for the zip code. So it's a similar thing. It's the same website, but it's a different web page. I just tried it here. It may also take a long time. And we first need to select place. So type in Michigan and select this one, and we'll go here. But I'm pretty sure about it. You guys probably can name and locate all the counties, but it may be really hard to locate the area corresponding to the zip codes. Still loading. So I tried this one on a few other computers, not here, where I'm sure that the internet speed is okay. It seems that this tool works smoothly, not that fast, but it's okay. But here it seems that we got some issues. So you guys can, if you have different internet access, you can try it. Possibly you can get the results working. So that's how we identify the county and the zip code. So go back to here. I want you guys to try a little bit. So let's do it this way. Try to find a partner. And then for the partner, try to give your partner a county name and a zip code. And then you do the check based on their name, county name, and zip code provided by your partner. If there's 3 of you, that's okay. You just give it to someone else. It could be the zip code of hometown of your zip code and county of your hometown, or something that you like. So please try it a little bit. Let me know if you have any issues. Yes. Yeah. Never.
What's his?
No, they don't know what they're at. Who knows what they're at?
If you check your email before the Diane sent us this, we're gonna sell this immediately.
Sorry, I'm in training currently, so.
So Diane says an email.
You do.
It's on recording.
location.
Okay.
Yeah, there's we only have like this 39 different here. And we have 5
So in other words, here, this we did, Sure. No, just, it's just pretty easy.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
So did everybody get something?
Yep.
Good. And you can see that, you can even try more. For example, try different locations. You can try, some counties or zip code regions that, to the south border of Michigan, and then you will see that, there's no SLR period this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
That means this year is pretty warm.
Okay.
It's very warm. So I looked into it. It's pretty interesting because I wanted to get a feeling regarding about how cold the previous winter is. And it seems that for like 2017, that's a pretty warm one because I kind of remember that my son got out for egg hunting on Easter. That means by that time the snow is gone. But last year I remember that I had snow on the ground sometime in May, possibly May 10th. So if you take a look at the free thought, we can do that later. Free thought depth, you can clearly see that it varies from year to year. So this is for first one.
So my laptop is a little bit tired and slow down. So we can also do the forecast, not just for a specific location, but for a route. For example, a state highway between like 2 cities, so we can also do that. We just need to repeat, so what we just did for different counties or zip code. And so one thing that you can try is please take a look at what's going on US 127 from Lansing to Reading. Actually, to save you guys some time, already check the counties. We will have these counties: Clinton, Gratiot, right? And Isabella, Clear, Roscommon, great. Ford. So these are counties. So could you guys take a look at take a look at the results? But if we ask for the general trend, if you go from southern part of Michigan to the northern part of Michigan, you can see that the time will be be later. So that's for the a route. How to do it for a route.
So this might be a good time for Scott to talk a little bit about how he envisioned using this in interest of time. We have 20 minutes left during his weekly calls.
Yeah, so here's our practice calls Thursday mornings and things. We usually get some emails to folks gaming me. Lisa on the Southwest region, she couldn't make it, she has a home right now, so obviously following the crisis, we stay home. So normally we can have we call in 8 o'clock Monday morning, it's usually about a half-hour long meeting, and we basically ask for reports from all the different regions to kind of see where we're at in regards to cross measurements, what our local partners are doing with their routes at that point in time too, because from our perspective, issuing oversized overweight permits, and like Leo, you mentioned before, is we usually have pretty good soils and drain pretty good on our routes, for the most part, not all. But if we clear ours too early, we can get permitted loads there, but they have to get off onto the local system, and the local system is still in restrictions because of I wouldn't say gravel roads, but very, very thin sections, pavement sections potentially. Then they have nowhere to go with those oversized overweight loads. So, yeah, if you guys wanna have one right now, we'll have our meeting today, and, I think, Charlie, or not Charlie, Dave. We'll go Dave first. So Dave, the, report from, University.
University region would like to move north with, Southern Line. It's frost-free down here, it's been relatively nice for 10 straight days, and ditches and pavements.
We'll pull up my, my OneNote here. We also keep our information in OneNote in case we have to look back at it later on, so, so basically, Dave's report is pretty much frost-free for the past few days, everything's draining out well, so that would be an indication where even this might say, remove the frost laws, we would then wait until we can make sure all the drainage is blown free, so.
Where's the restrictions right now?
The restrictions right now run a line from M43 in South Haven to 131 here in Kalamazoo, down to I-94 across to I-69, just north of Marshall, to, over and around Lansing, all the way to Port Huron on I-69. So we've got a considerable portion of the southern part of the Lower Peninsula, all the way in, including the Upper Peninsula.
Are still under restrictions, right?
Under restrictions, correct. Yeah. And we got a report from, Metro Region. They've been thawed out, very similar to University, and their drainage is good, so they're good to open them up, and they have been open for a while because they didn't have any frost measured. Southwest Region mentions, and like I said, this is Lisa's report, that, they still have 3 to 4 inches of frost in pockets, in their area, and, some of the, shoulders and the ditches in that area are still saturated. So they have some concerns in the northern part of their region, so that's north of that M43 line. And within that area, we have 2 restricted routes, M43 and, M40. And then, so then we progress moving on up, Grand Region reported that they didn't have any issues within their area regarding frost or drainage, so we'll verify with them a little bit later on, and we'll verify with Lisa in Southwest Region, but maybe have somebody go out and check those spots one more time to kind of see how things are going. There's something to say we can't place restriction on a specific route within the region also, if they're having some drainage issues. And then, so then we would have Mike.
So drainage is, looking good up to about M20 Mount Pleasant area. Frost, let me see, we checked M115 in Clare, and that was clear of frost. And then, in the northern end of Gladwin County, that still had 14 inches of thaw, and then frost down to 37 inches, I believe. I'm kind of doing this by memory. It's written down at my desk, which is useless right now. We would be fine with moving the, frost laws north up to, the M20, area, but it sounds like Southwest, they kind of wanna keep theirs as is. So anyway, we're draining pretty well, and moving it north would be fine with us.
All right, great.
Okay, the southern end of my area is like Mike's. We're gonna keep our restrictions on. And the farther north you get, there's more frost. We were discussions with Charlie, we decided we're gonna wait at least another week, right? So no changes for the North Region at this point. Reevaluate next week.
All right. And Charlie.
So, Menominee, Ross tubes are both clear, both 35 and 41. And then Mackinac County, or 117 tube is clear, and 123 tube is clear. The rest of them are all dropping in frost from 12 to 30 inches over the top. It's supposed to cool off a little bit here, forecast.
Cold State for another week. And as these, weekly meetings go on throughout the year, the attendance gets lower and lower and lower until it's just a meeting with, myself, Julie, Charlie. Those ones are only about 5 minutes. So, then what we would typically do is we would go through here, follow up on any kind of loose ends, such as, we're gonna follow up with Curtis and Green, to get a little bit more detailed information from him, follow up a little bit with Lisa down in the Southwest, and say, okay, is it just those particular routes where we're having an issue with, or maybe just restriction on those ones? Or, and then open up the rest of the freeways up to a certain point, like the 20 line possibly. And then what we do is we'll pick a route across the state to kind of draw the line in the sand, if you will, of where we're lifting the crosswalks to. And we would use a tool such as this to help guide our discussion on that Thursday morning. Most folks, I know, right now we're using the Thawcaster product as to you as one of them. And just looking at forecasts along with our frost tube measurements and stuff, pull all that information and have discussion on Thursday morning. So. And then I sent an email out to County Road Association Michigan, MITA, the contracting organization for Michigan, the Michigan Ag Association, because they tend to move a lot of plants in the springtime to start producing agricultural projects. Specialized Carriers and Riggers Association, they're a national association for the oversized overweight hauling community. State Police, and that's everybody else we enough. And basically have that leadership so that they're aware of it when they start getting phone calls. So, and that's pretty much the process right there.
Leo, should you go to the next slide?
Okay, so we are running late. I probably need to speed up. So we need to kill some fun of next parts. Anyway, thanks for adding those great comments, feedback, and the one thing I want to bring up here is that you guys are experts, this are payments really well. So, and then even for the same, this we can also take a look, at the change when we move from south to north. So this is the one US 127 from here to here. So for the on date, you see that this is March 12th, and the ratchet, a little different. It's March 3rd. Then when we go to Isabella, it's the same as Clinton. Go to Clear, it's very close. It's 1 day. Later than that, we go to Roscommon, it's even later. And the Prop Port is slightly earlier than this three. And for the off dates, we can see similar change. So it's not linear. So you see that sometimes we go up and down. That must be caused by because the MDOT 2019 model not only take into consideration the weather information, but also the pavement and the geology things. Yes.
Yeah, Leo, I think part of the problem too is the lack of RWIS stations through that zone. In fact, if you go back to that slide, it shows your RWIS stations, the center of the state doesn't have a whole lot in there to deal with.
Yeah, that could be because we use that interpolation to get the result at some specific location. So that also could be the reason. But if we ask for the general trend, if you go from southern part of Michigan to the northern part of Michigan, you can see that the time will be later. So that's for the a route. How to do it for a route.
So this might be a good time for Scott to talk a little bit about how he envisions using this in interest of time. We have 20 minutes left during his weekly calls.
Yeah, so well, here's our conference calls usually on Thursday mornings. I think there's and we usually get some emails too for folks that can't make the meeting, like Lisa down Southwest region. She couldn't make it. She has pneumonia right now. So obviously we follow the good practices and stay at home. So normally we have we get a call in 8 o'clock Monday morning. It's usually about a half-hour long meeting, and we basically ask for reports from all the different regions to kind of see where we're at with regards to cross measurements, what our local partners are doing with their routes at that point in time too, because from our perspective, issuing oversized overweight permits, and like Leo, you mentioned before, is we usually have pretty good soils and drain pretty good on our routes, for the most part, not all of them. But,
if we clear ours too early, we can get permitted loads there, but they have to get off onto the local system, and if the local system is still in restrictions because of, I wouldn't say gravel roads, but very, very thin sections, pavement sections potentially, then they have nowhere to go with those work size weight loads. So, if you guys wanna have one right now, we'll have our meeting today, and, I think, Charlie, or not Charlie, Dave. We'll go Dave first, cause that was. So Dave, the, report from, University Region.
Diversity region would like to move north of the southern line. Frost free down here, it's been relatively nice for 10 straight days. Ditches and pavements,
Pull up my, my OneNote here. We also keep our information in the OneNote in case we have to look back at it later on, so, so basically, Dave's report is pretty, they're pretty much frost free for the past few days, everything's draining out well, so that would be an indication where even this might say, remove the frost laws, we would then wait until we can make sure all the drainage is won't freeze.
Where's the restrictions right now?
The restrictions right now run a line from M43 at South Haven to 131 here in Kalamazoo, down to I-94 across, to I-69 just north of Marshall, to over around Lansing, all the way to Port Huron, I-69. So we've got a considerable portion of the southern part of the Lower Peninsula, so all the way in, including the Upper Peninsula.
Are still under restrictions, right?
Under restrictions, correct. Yep. And we got a report from Metro Region. They've been thought out, very similar to University, and their drainage is good, so they're good to open them up, and they have been open for a while because they didn't have any cross measure. Southwest Region mentions, and like I said, this is Lisa's report, that they still have 3 or 4 inches of frost in pockets in their area, and some of the shoulders and the ditches in that area are still saturated. So they have some concerns in the northern part of their region, so that's north of that M43 line. And within that area, we have 2 restricted routes, M43 and M40. Going up to Grand Haven, so then we progress moving on up. Grand Region reported that they didn't have any issues within their area regarding frost or drainage, so we'll verify with them a little bit later on, and we'll verify with Lisa Southwest Region, but we guess when we go out and check those spots one more time and kind of see how things are going. There's something to say we can't place restriction on a specific route in the region, also we're having some drainage issues. And then, so then we've had, Mike.
So drainage is looking good up to about M20 Mount Pleasant area. Frost, let me see, we checked M115 in Clare, and that was clear of frost. And then in the northern end of Gladwin County, that still had 14 inches of thaw and then frost down to 37 inches, I believe. I'm kind of doing this by memory. It's written down at my desk, which is useless right now. We would be fine with moving the frost laws north up to the M20 area, but it sounded like Southwest, they kind of want to keep theirs as is. So anyway, we're draining pretty well, and moving it north would be fine with us.
All right, great.
Okay, the southern end of my area is like Mike's. We're gonna keep our restrictions on. The farther north you get, there's more frost. We was discussions with Charlie, we decided we're gonna wait at least another week, right? So no changes for the north region at this point. Reevaluate next week.
Sure.
Anomaly, frost tubes are both cleared, 35 and 31. And then back it up. 117 is clear.
as these, weekly meetings go on throughout the year, the attendance gets lower and lower and lower until it's just me, myself, Julie, and Charlie. Those ones are only about 5 minutes. So, then what we would typically do is we would go through here, follow up on any kind of loose ends, such as, we're gonna follow up with Curtis and Grant, to get a little bit more detailed information from him, follow up a little bit with Lisa down in Southwest, say, okay, is it just those particular routes where we're having an issue with, and maybe just a restriction on those ones? Or, and then open up the rest of the freeways up to a certain point, like the M20 line possibly. And then what we do is we'll pick a route across the state to kind of draw the line in the sand, if you will, of where we're lifting the cross lines to. And we would use a tool such as this to help guide our discussion on that Thursday morning. Well, most folks, I know right now we're using the Thawcaster product as from MTU as one of them. We just looked at forecasts along with our frost tube measurements and stuff. All that information and have discussion on it. So. And then I sent an email out to County Road Association Michigan, MITA, the contracting organization of Michigan, the Michigan Ag Association, because they tend to move a lot of their plants in the springtime, start producing agri-forest projects. Specialized Carriers and Riggers Association, they're a national association for the oversized overweight hauling community. State Police, and basically on that leadership, so that they're aware of it when they start getting phone calls. So that's pretty much the process right there.
Leo, could you go to the next slide?
Okay, so we're running minutes, I can't make it speed up, so I mean, you kill some from, next parts. But anyway, thanks for, adding those, great comments, and feedback. And, one thing I want to bring up here is that, you guys are experts, the SR, the payments very well. So, if possible, one recommendation I want to make here is that, when you guys, looking at SR decisions with this tool, you may better get a better understanding about the shortcoming of the 2019 model, even this act. So, if possible, I would recommend you guys to write down, those things, those shortcomings, those imperfections. For example, if you find that, this M.2019, usually it underestimates, for some parts. So if you write something like that down, maybe in a few years, we can come back and take a look at this again and improve this tool. So this is just, my recommendation. Okay, let's keep going. The next one is the SLR spatial distribution. Actually, it showed a little bit. So here I just did two things. Show this is actually for March 5th. The distribution of the degree of SLR completion across the state. Actually, the degree of completion, this is a totally new thing, so nobody has used something like this before. This is what the RAP proposed. So when in one of our previous meetings. And here I show what we got for both the FHWA and the M.2019. It seems that their predictions are not too far from each other, at least for this day. But for some other days, I also witnessed big differences. And next is the free thought history. So for this one, do we still have time?
Maybe we could go to the next one and.
Okay.
Then
So for this one, this is actually what I just mentioned before. So one thing I did is that check the history of zip code 49931. That's my zip code Bolton. And take a look at the previous years. I can easily see the number of free cycles and also the magnitude of the freezing depth and thawing depth. So based on that, I can tell how tough that winter is. So that's the idea of this slide. And next is the maximum freezing depth in surface 4 for any periods. So this one is used for pavement design. Again, the idea is that, for example, if we're looking at something like 20 years, 40 years, this would be very valuable. But unfortunately, currently, we can only go back to 2012. But as if we keep using this tool, we will get more and more data. For this one, again, we have two options. You can calculate the maximum over all the available data, or you can select one period of interest. And next one is the what dig here.
Okay, what I was showing here, like for pavement design, having all this data at your fingertips, you can play all kinds of games and ask questions and try to make sense of things in your own head on how things vary throughout the state. In this case, what I'm showing here is in Berrien County, data from 2012-13 up to now, how the different winters affected our pavement. And this is using the FHWA line. Anybody remember the winter of 13-14? We got cold, stayed cold, polar vortex, all that good stuff. A couple serious winters here. The light winters, you see all this bouncing up and down. So just visually, you can see from winter to winter how harsh it's been. This is where we're at this year. Now, questions come in, is Michigan different than our surrounding states? What makes Michigan pavement design different than everybody else in the Midwest region? So, you know, I ask you a question. We're further north than a lot of states, but not Minnesota. We have Great Lakes all around us that moderate our temperatures. Does that affect things? So very quickly you can go from, say, Berrien County to Hillsdale County. This is in the center of the state, away from the lakes. Same kind of trends. Doesn't seem to matter too much. We're still south, though. Let's go over to Wayne County, where we have a lot of infrastructure. Same kind of trend. Bouncing up and down, and winters that aren't so harsh. You can get your frost off here, get a feel for how deep it went. Okay, let's go up north. How about Gratiot County, which is the geographical center of the Mitten is in St. Louis, which is right next to Alma. We're quite a bit north. We're still seeing this kind of bouncing around. The deeper frost depths in the cold winters, still some bouncing around. All right, let's keep going north. Let's go to Otsego County. Okay, Brandon, this is for you. We don't see the bouncing around so much up in Otsego County. What's the difference between Otsego County and those other counties? Well, Otsego County is quite a bit north. We know that. And anybody skiers in the room? It's very high up in Otsego County. You know that high wind area on I-75? You're away from the lake, you're high. You don't see that bouncing around. Okay, let's go, let's say to the west, over to Leelanau County, all surrounded by water, right? What would we expect to see over there? Same latitude. Okay, there's the bouncing around again when we get towards the lake. All right, As we go north, it gets colder, right? So we keep going north, compared to Otsego. Let's go up to the UP, it's real cold in the UP, right? Let's find Akron. Worse than that, see it bounce around here? Why is that? Because of the lakes. Years when the lakes freeze. We're good. All right. Now, see, what's the closest we would have to Minnesota? Let's try Iron County. We're quite far north, cold, away from the lake. There's Iron. So, just, having this data at your fingertips, the better the data becomes, the more useful this tool can become. And just being able to visualize this and use it as a communication tool when these questions come in. What's different about Michigan? Actually show people. And, as you know, or may not know, what is the best support condition for a pavement? When can a pavement carry the most load?
Frozen.
Fully frozen, yes. So, Iron County, wouldn't surprise me. All right. Anybody has any questions or wants to talk more about this, I'll be around
We're
here.
thinking in terms of, we're looking at those depths, we're interested in the actual numbers, not necessarily the trends. The depth is measured from the bottom of the pavement, is that? Yes.
Any questions or? I'm the only thing between you and lunch, I think.
Okay, I think you did a better job than me. So, appreciate it. So anyway, so if you have any questions, so please feel free to give me a call, to drop a line. And I am a Leo that you got to know without shaking hands. So you need to remember. It'll be once in a lifetime thing. So, okay, just shoot me a line if you have any question, and we will be keep watching this one, overseeing this one to see how it works. So if you have any questions or any suggestions, feel free to put them down and we can discuss.
I want to thank everyone for coming and let's get a video